Anybody we will see. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to the Hawaii Board of Optometry meeting for February 10th. Before the meeting begins, we're going to show a short video which will explain the procedures of this meeting and how members of the public can interact with the board.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Okay, internet access. To view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with an entry in an email format, example name@email.com. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about that agenda. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. Phone access. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top on the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you're finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet access and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. The information will be provided on the board website. Okay, I will now take roll call. Members, when I call your name, please respond as present or here. And if you're joining us remotely, indicate if there's anyone with you at your location. Dr. Wallace Kojima,
Present, and no one is with me.
Dr. Clay Searle,
Present.
and Ms. Gail Chang.
Present.
And I, Dr. Paul Chin, am also present. I will now call the meeting to order. The time is 9:08 a.m. Agenda item 2 is approval of the minutes from November 18th, 2024. Is there anyone that would like to provide testimony on agenda item 2?
Thank you, Chair. This is Johnny. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, any corrections to the open session minutes of November 18th, 2024? No, okay. Can I get a motion to approve agenda item 2?
I move that we approve the agenda item 2, Gail Chang.
And second,
Dr. Stoll will second it.
Dr. Searle. Are there any objections or abstentions? None. Okay, seeing no objections or abstentions, motion is approved. Moving on to agenda item 3, applications. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item 3?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, so just as a courtesy, we've always read the the ratifications. So for DPA certification, OD 1074 Elisa Hearn, OD 1048 Sarah Fry, and OD 1049 Jerry Nave. OD 1050 is Yan Li Wu. And we have 2 TPA certifications, OD 290 John Sakuda, and OD 1047 Elisa Hearn. So do I have a motion to ratify the applications?
Dr. Searle, motion to ratify.
And do I have a second to ratify?
Second.
Are there any abstentions or objections? None. Seeing none, the motion to ratify the applications has been approved. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to number 4, agenda item, continuing education. Is there anyone that would like to provide testimony on continuing education?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, so at this moment, I'll pass everything over to Dr. Searle, who approved it.
Okay. There were basically 4 new courses requested, 25001, Megan's Eye Care, 1-hour TPA, that's granted. 25002, updated autism care by a little, that's 1 hour granted. 25003, 17th annual optometric CE in Paradise by Jenkins Eye Care, 2 hours of TPA requested. And 25004 VSP Premier, blah, 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 Mahalo. 4 hours requested, 3 hours TPA, and then they may be eligible for the 4th hour, but we're doing 3 hours at TPA and then 1 for the DPA. Okay, if that's good, then that's okay.
Okay. So we'll get the last one is 3 hours TPA, 1 hour DPA.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the CEs?
I move that, Gail Chang, I move that we approve the CEs.
Do we have a second?
Second, Dr. Kojima.
Second, Dr. Kojima. Any objections or abstentions? Seeing none, motion is approved for the continuing education request. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Searle. So now we have discussion here. There was someone, they applied. What date? But last year they applied, I think it was for July 25th, 2024. They mailed everything in, but for some reason, I don't know if it was lost or whatever the reason is, did not go through. And our law says it's 45 days to approve, but because of our meetings, 45 days goes by pretty quickly. So they put in a request, and they did reapply for the hours. I don't remember exactly.
That was a Hawaii Vision Specialist for a class entitled Interventional Glaucoma Advances, Eye Stent and Eye Dose. They offered the class July 25.
For 2 hours, correct, TPA. So the discussion is, this has happened before. And in the past, you know, they did their due diligence for whatever reason, and the board in the past has granted it. Is there any discussion? Anybody have any? I guess it's because the 45 days is hard, right? By the time you figure out that timeline has passed. That may be something we have to, oh, we'll bring that up another time. 45 days.
Our rules again.
Yeah. Anybody have any objections to granting it or?
I think it's fine.
Okay, so we do need a okay. So regarding the Hawaii Vision Specialist to go ahead and accept the application, do I have a motion to approve?
I have
For
a
2
motion. to
hours.
approve.
Okay, Dr. Kojima, second.
Dr. Sewell, second that.
Dr. Sir, any objections or abstentions? Okay, seeing none, the motion carries. We will approve the 2-hour TPA for July 25th. Thank you very much. Okay, third one is, we got a letter that you all saw from the Kansas Board of Examiners, the 8-hour DEA training to count. We did some research and it is equivalent to the DEA classes are equivalent to COPE. In fact, they do take COPE classes for the DEA. So do we take it for CE? Would we take it? Personally, I don't see any objection because it's done by the AMA, the nurses. Anybody have any discussion on it or any thoughts? No. Okay, so I dug a little deeper and COPE said, because the DEA will accept COPE hours. So I thought about it and I thought, but the DEA would take it on a case-by-case basis. So we don't actually have an official
Transcript of these?
transcript of these. So my thinking is, just like how we would take individual Jenkins, whatever, we look at it, we probably will do that and do it on a case-by-case basis, but they have to send it in with the transcript, you know, depending on who the sponsoring. AMA does it, like I said, COPE does it, nurses, so it depends on who the sponsoring organization, but I don't see any problem, because that's where the profession is headed, right? There's some states that, you know, you need the opioid DEA registration. It's just part of our continuing education.
Good point. Good point.
Does I mean, I don't want to stymie us now to say no, and then we expand or whatever the case may be in the future. You know, everything is always changing. Any thoughts, discussion? Because they asked us to draft a letter.
They want, yes, the Kansas Board of Examiners in Optometry were wondering, would we accept those hours? So we would draft a letter to tell them that we would do it on a case
By case basis, yeah.
After reviewing the content.
Yes, just like we do others. Any discussion?
So the person taking the course would submit paperwork showing that they took this DEA course on those opioids and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't see it as anything really now, because Kansas is asking, not us. So as far as our board is, it may pop up in the future. So I think this is good for us to address now.
I agree, the case by case, no different than any other courses, as long as we get a syllabus of what they're presenting.
Correct. Okay, sounds good. We have to,
We can go by consensus on that since we didn't make a definite decision, just that we do it on case by case. Would you?
Okay.
Is it, that's legal and everything, or the way it can be done?
I mean, voting is always.
so we don't need
Sure.
that.
Oh, okay.
Wanna
Just do it like we've always done on a case by case basis, correct?
And I mean,
You can vote that that's what we're gonna do with the EA classes.
We'll do it on a case-by-case
Yeah.
basis
Yeah.
as is presented.
Oh.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve accepting DEA opioid classes for continuing ed on a case-by-case basis going forward?
A motion to approve.
Second,
Dr. Searle, motion is second.
any objections or abstentions? Seeing none, motion carries. And Carrie, I guess we'll draft a letter and send you.
I'll run it by you.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. Okay, the second part of, I should have done it together, but the second part is. Okay, so we're moving on to the draft information for the on our board's website for the 2025 renewal. Anybody get a chance to look over it? I looked over it, it looks okay, pretty comprehensive. The directions for the license renewal.
Maybe finding errors or
No,
wearing
anything,
assumptions that I made that are not correct.
any spelling errors, so. It looks good to me, so, I didn't see anything wrong.
I got a question on
Sure.
the COPE categories, DPA under pharmacology, PH. That's under the DPA.
Where's that?
Oh, you are correct. That got put in the wrong column. The pH pharmacology and SC systemic diseases should be over on TPA.
Right,
The system apparently didn't like mine.
okay,
Yeah, you're correct. Those are in the wrong column.
thank you.
Talk about neuro optometry will stay as a TPA.
It should, I think, yeah.
Neuro, yeah.
Which one?
Neuro will stay as TPA.
Yes, we've always listed those under TPA for the board.
Just sort of have
See,
a concussion considered neuro at all. Okay, so that's what I was saying about,
oh, yeah.
that, we
Oh,
can talk about that later, but.
so, I don't know if NO covers concussion, but the board has previously, discussed concussions and brain injury and have determined that that would go under TPA. At those courses.
It would go under TPA?
Yeah, even if it was listed as a general optometry, if it had to do with concussions,
Okay.
this board determined that they would use it for TPA.
Got the DP.
This one, they only wanted 3 for TPA, but we can give them the 4th one because it was about concussions and head trauma. That's what I was going to ask you about afterwards, but they were only asking for 3 themselves. But they wanted, they can have the 4th.
Well, they only requested 3, right? So we changed their request.
They only requested the 3.
We could leave it, because we can't,
Yeah.
they're doing the request, but not us, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect then.
Oh, we can call, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's good to ask. Okay, good.
Okay,
So just
So-
that one correction.
so with the question with pharmacology and systemic diseases, putting them in the right column, everything else looks like we're gonna ask our people to post up on the website.
Yeah, okay, let me do that.
Good catch.
Yes, very good. Thank you, Dr. Kojima. Okay, we need to, okay, we don't need anything on that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 5, new business. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item number 5?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, so first item is we had a request for trade name ratification, Reynolds Optometric. So Gregory Reynolds, president of Ron Reynolds OD Corporation, is requesting to approve the trade name Reynolds Optometric. So I asked the AG to chime in on this.
So this is a legal advice. Let's go into executive session. Vote to go into executive.
Okay,
Okay. So at this moment, I'd like to go into executive session. So board members, if you could switch over.
Well, we need a motion.
Oh, sorry.
This is to consult with the board's attorney.
Okay, we will go into executive session to consult the attorney. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Pam Chang, so moved.
Second,
I'll
Dr.
second it. Carrie, could
Yes.
you have them send that
Oh.
Microsoft to me, different emails?
Yeah, so it's a new system. You just hold tight. We're gonna move you into the room. You don't have to do anything.
I won't do anything. Perfect.
New system, it's really easy now.
Okay.
okay, so motion carries. The board will go into executive session. They will let us
I
know.
think this is the first time we've gone into executive session on this board in a really long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. And I need a motion to come out of
Yeah.
executive session.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the only reason I do that is just to give you legal advice and the
Okay.
board makes a decision, then we typically want to do it in private. So in this case.
Dr.
Oh,
Kojima hasn't joined us yet. Because I don't think we had a room set up.
No, we didn't.
So it's gonna take just a hot minute.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I don't have sound.
Okay, can you hear us now, sir?
I'm good.
Okay.
When you said that, I started talking louder. Okay, do I have a motion to approve Reynolds Optometric?
I approve, a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Dr. Sherrill, motion to second.
Okay, any objections or abstentions? Seeing none, the board approves the Hawaii DBA Reynolds Optometric. Okay, agenda item B, new business. We have two requests from the same optometrist. One to use low-level light therapy for dry eye management. And then to use allergy test kit from Allerfocus. So just a quick discussion here. In the past, we've had all this. We cannot, we don't have guidelines for every treatment, every new diagnostic or machine that comes out. So in the past, what we've done is, there are no guidelines for it. So the statement that was used was, our rules are silent on these procedures. And it was simple as that. Is there any discussion or on the matter? Because she wants us to, did we send a letter? Or she just?
We haven't responded to her yet, other than it would be on the board's agenda.
Okay, so my suggestion is the rules are silent. We have no guidelines on it. Anybody have anything on that or?
But that just means we just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't approve every single thing and some, things like that. Well, as we've done,
I agree, because if we just stay silent like we did the previous one, that covers a lot of things that unless we get real deep into it, it should be okay, as long as not injections and anything outside our scope.
correct. Okay, so we've had letters before, so we'll go through and we'll send something back to her. Gary, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we need a motion to send the letter? No more.
Yeah, that's a motion.
Motion that will,
Okay, so do I have a motion to send a letter to the licensee regarding her questions on low-level light therapy and allergy testing? Do I have a
And
motion?
IPL, the IPL as well, the second.
And IPL, correct, yes.
Okay, I motion to approve that letter.
Second,
Dr. Sherrill, seconds motion.
any objections or abstentions? Okay, seeing none, motion is approved to draft a letter to the licensee. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 6, legislature. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item 5?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, so I'll read something quick. The pertinent section of SB 1333 is section 1 on page 50. And we did provide testimony on February 4th to the Senate Consumer Protections Committee. The bill was passed, but the amendments haven't been posted yet. So the discussion is for sex offenders.
so yes, Dr. Chen, section 21 of SB 1373 states that notwithstanding any other law to the contrary, this Board of Optometry shall automatically revoke a license or deny an application to renew, restore, or reinstate a license under the following conditions. If the licensee has been convicted in any court or in or outside this state of an offense, and are of an offense that would they would end up being a registered sex offender. And number two, if the licensee has been required to register as a sex offender, that we would not renew, restore, or reinstate, or would pull the licensee's license. This would be different than how we do it now. Now, if there's a concern about somebody's license, they have the opportunity for contested case hearing, and they can, we have to keep their license active while they go through that process, which can be time consuming to take someone's license away from them, and rightfully so. People do have a property interest, but the state, this bill says that if you are in a profession where you are alone with a person in an enclosed space, or as part of your services, you touch the person and you're registered as a sex offender, that the safety of the consuming public overrides that concern with the license, and the person can come back and ask for their license, but it needs to be pulled immediately until there's a chance to find out why that person should have a license if they've been convicted and are registered as a sex offender. So I did provide testimony. It came before the Senate committee prior to this board being able to meet. I did not say that the board definitely supported. I did not say you did not support. I said that in the past, the board has supported bills that protected the consumer, and that you would review this bill and the companion House bill at this meeting. So I'm looking for direction from the board on how you want me to provide your testimony when it comes back around for the next hearing.
Any discussion, Wally, Dr. Koji?
I'm all for it. Simple.
My question is, it says you revoke it and you cannot restore it. In the past, we could maybe restore it. Is that how I read this?
Well, you wouldn't be able to restore it, I believe, 5 years. You, which part are you looking at? Are you looking
I'm
at
just looking at
C?
this part,
Which
the
part?
synopsis, the basic synopsis of the whole bill.
Okay, so if you read the section, it tells you all of those things. We could, Part C, upon revocation of the license or denial of an application to renew, restore, or reinstate, the licensee may file a written request for a hearing with the licensing authority within 10 days of the notice. The hearing shall be held within 30 days of the revocation or denial, and the proceedings shall be conducted in accordance with Chapter 91.
Yeah.
So the person can ask to have the license reinstated.
But we're fine with that.
But you have to deny it.
You have to,
We have to deny it.
At first, but
So it's essentially,
They're done.
they're done. They can't practice in optometry once they get a sex offender
well,
registration.
then not to be done, but why would they ask to have us look at it again?
I mean, if they did, because under the law, if their license is revoked, then they have 5 years and they can reapply, but this law is just saying that
Then he got,
you have to deny it. So essentially, it's forever revoked.
okay, that's what I'm kind of getting at. Okay.
well, we have attorneys with us.
Yeah, I know
Thank
that's
you very much. We're really using it today. Okay, so I have no problem with it either. We're here to protect the public. So the direction or discussion is, are you going to see them again?
Oh, I'll see them again. It goes through several hearings. This was just the first hearing. This and the other item B, HB 1054, which is the House version of the same bill, have both been heard. It's going to go to more committees, and so I need to have testimony to provide them if the board is in support or only wants to offer comments, or you need to direct me what you want me to say to the legislature concerning this. If the board is in full support and has no comments, we can put that. If you have concerns, this is where you would have me tell them, we're in full support, but we have this concern. This is where you direct me what you want the ledge to know from this board.
Interesting.
I'm leaning towards we give full support. We're here to protect the public. That's our mandate. So, and no comments unless any other
No, I
board.
agree. I agree with that.
Okay.
And it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That makes my testimony really easy.
You're welcome.
Do you actually?
You want it
provide it,
easy.
Carrie?
I provided unless Dr. Chin wants to come down and talk to the legislature.
I mean-
Find out his busy schedule.
I give you credit.
Okay,
Heavy duty.
moving on to legislative liaison. So,
So just for the record, the direction you gave me for SB 1373 is the exact same direction I have for House Bill 1054. Just
yes,
so that's on
correct.
record.
Yes, the Senate and House.
Thank you. For those that may be listening but not seeing, so thank you.
Agenda item C, legislative liaison. We should consider appointing legislative liaisons for stuff, items like this that may pop up on occasion. So our EO, Harry is requesting 2 volunteers or 1 volunteer.
1 or 2 volunteers. We have to make sure that we don't get too many people on this so that we break sunshine laws. So it can't be, we can't hit a quorum. I just need 1 or 2 folks that if somebody puts something in the next
Correct.
version of this, if they adjust it and it's significantly different, I can come to the board and say, this is significantly different. What does the board feel? And you guys give me some direction because we're not meeting again until May, I believe. So legislation will be wrapping up by then. So I don't envision much changing in this bill, but in case something does change significantly, I need someone to reach out to just chat about it.
Okay, I'll save everyone the problem. I'll volunteer.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
And problem solved. Okay.
I was smiling because it's nice.
Next board meeting. So all clear on that? Is that okay, Carrie? No problem.
Fine. One person is fine.
Should I get 2 just in case? We're
You're not if you're
off
unreachable, is
island. I have another volunteer.
I should be around.
that okay with everyone, Dr. Searle, for backup? Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, agenda item 7, next board meeting will be Monday, May 12th, 2025, 9 a.m. in person, room 330. And I think that's it. Adjournment, okay. I think we covered everything. The meeting, thank you, everyone. The meeting is now adjourned. It's 9:47 a.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
everyone.
It's a marathon.
I know, I thought it was 17 minutes longer than I.
Hey, it was short, but it's heavy duty, so.
Yeah, this one.